Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. Today, I just want to talk about a anime which people have been telling me to check out, which is Seraph of the End, the Vampire Reign. And honestly, I watched all 9 episodes so far, and I pretty much just want to break these things up into like three different episodes. So let me start off with the story of these first 3 episodes, which I will call the beginning. And in the beginning, it all pretty much was a random plague virus that went out and it attacked people's hearts and organs, and now the population of the earth is torn down to about 90%. And also, for some people out there who have been attacked by it, they don't necessarily just straight up die, they just become hospitalized and then they need round-the-clock care. And that's just sort of how that goes. And the virus itself, it doesn't attack anybody who's 13 and under, from what they told the children in the blood orphanage. So that is how that goes. And over the based on the first episode, you see that vampires, that they have taken over they have taken over the reign of the world as it is so far, and they're just using the remaining humans as they call it, livestock. But it's really strange to me how that they don't try and care for their so-called livestock as much as, or at least for like, they don't care for them better, which is something that really kills me, because I'm like, you need these people to live and you need them alive, because if you don't keep them nourished, well then the blood that you get isn't really going to help you all that much. So, but jumping into the characters, however, I'm about to come back to story in a second, but jumping into our characters for these first 3 episodes, we have I think we have 6 characters to keep an eye on. Yuichiro, our main character, he's really stubborn and really wants to kill Freed, because Freed actually killed off his entire family early on in the first, late in the first episode, and it's really haunting him now because it's twisted and warped his ideals of him, saying that he doesn't want to make any friends, because if he does, he doesn't want to go through losing them again, which is something that I can really understand. However, his stubbornness also leads him to be way more reckless and tends to put his life in danger, such as late in episode 2 and also in episode 3, when like he went to go just randomly fight like a armless vampire. Not an armless, without arms, like one without any weapons, or without any weapons, that just so happened to break into the school, and he sort of just ran and just decided to go and attack it, even though it wasn't necessarily like the best idea to do. And the same thing can be said for episode 3, when like he just randomly just took like this demon axe and it was about to possess him, and he tried to find his way to break it, because once they presented in like demon weapons, and which is something which, to be fair, I'm really interested in, because the demon weapons, they do seem to be like pretty interesting entities that do have crazy personalities, and they all want the same thing, but I mean, they do seem to have a personality of their own, which really which does lead to some possibilities of it being explored, which that's Yuichi in the first 3 episodes. He's not a bad character. I actually really like him a lot, and honestly, his story is really terrible as it is. I can really understand like why he would act the way he does. Now, jumping into our second character, Mika. Well, now by this point in the time, not at this point in time, unless you've seen the intro, which really spoils the fuck out of that, is that like watching the first and second episodes, you actually would, watching the first episode, you would think that he had died. Watching the second episode's intro, you know that he will come back alive like at a later date, which really tends to shoot itself in the foot, which is really crazy to me. But honestly, Mika, he does come in later on. I will touch on that in like the next few episodes, but jumping on to our next character, Shinoa, She seems like your average like comedic a comedic leader person who likes to pick on the main character and other people which really it seems as though is that like she can never be serious unless things gets dire, which I like her. I like her well enough, and honestly, she's very informative. However, you know, she doesn't seem to really want to. She seems to be more on the watchy side compared to the active side of trying to force, or pretty much like of her trying to force her team members to sort of like act as one. She tends to act a lot like their leader, Gurren, who tries to make all these rules first and say like, look, you can't do this unless you do A, B, and C, instead of just saying like, I want you to ship up and shape out. I think I've just covered Gurren too, because that's pretty much how Gurren acts. Except for he acts like a mixture of both characters, Shinoa and also Yuichiro, because as far as he knows, he doesn't really care, and he's really stubborn, and he really keeps to himself to the point in which that like, you know, he really doesn't want to, or at least like he really doesn't trust that Yuichiro can actually like survive things unless like he actually changes his mentality, which is something that just meant which is quickly happening. Also, let's see, who's that last character? Oh yeah, Freed, the vampire who actually killed off all of Yuichiro's family. Well, as far as I know, he's just a sadistic bastard who really just likes to kill people, and I'm like, I don't know why you're doing that, which is weird because I'm like, why the fuck did you just do that for? I mean, like, I understand that they took your gun and they stole a map, but really, like, why the fuck did you have to just kill them all for just a very sadistic thing? Which really paints a lot of the vampires as one-note characters, which, to be fair, a lot of them are, because they all pretty much say the same shit whenever they see, like, our main characters, or, you know, they run into some conflict with, like, other people. They usually say the same shit. They just call them livestock, not people, which is really crazy. But either way, that is the character portion. Sorry to make this video long as fuck, but what do I think about this series so far? Really, art style's nice, the characters are nice. I really like the way how it's going so far, of them not trying to pull punches and just try and like spend like a whole episode of trying to build shit up. I'm really happy that they just sort of just pick a narrative of say, this is where we're at right now. We're going to take 3 episodes. We are going to make our thing. And then after that, we are going to go from there, which really is something that I do like, because these first 3 episodes, they do really feel like a beginning, because they tell you the conflict, they show you your enemies, they show you the growth progression of our main character, and also they do talk about like the demonic weapons, which really they don't really have to explain where those come from, but either way, it's like they do explain like their uses and their power and what you need to do to get it. So really, they cover all of their bases in this series. Who was our villain? Who was our main character? How can our main character get stronger? 3 simple things in which that they had to do, and they did it perfectly. So that is what I gotta say about that. What do you think about it? Tell me in the comment section. Catch you on the next John Grave Show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.